Hello friends, I hope you're doing well. In today's video I want to share with you some perennials I am enjoying so far, and I strongly recommend you check them out and possibly plant one or two in your garden. First up, I'm sure you recognize these beautiful blooms. Yes, this is a bleeding heart, otherwise known as dicentra. With your bleeding heart, it gets 3 to 4 feet wide. It is a very bushy plant. It is not a shrub, because a shrub I think has woody stems. This one does not. The stems for the bleeding heart, they are very fleshy, so to speak, and your bleeding heart prefers moist and slightly acidic soil, very well drained, and it is a hardy perennial from zones 3 to 9. It blooms mid to late spring until early summer. And I'm not sure if you noticed, bleeding heart, it actually blooms in the summer. Yes, it blooms in the summer. I've tested it last year where I clip off some of the spent blooms, and then in the summer I noticed it was giving me some new blooms. It wasn't blooming as profusely as it is now, but there were some small little blooms still trying to peep out from the plant. Anyway, so it prefers light shade, morning sun and afternoon shade. So with your bleeding heart, it's perfect for your shade garden. So the hostas, the fern, it complements the bleeding heart very well. In this spot, it is not completely shaded and it's not full sun, it's just in between. So as you see, I have a hosta right next to it, and just look at the foliage comparison, right? Look how it complements each other. The shape from the bleeding heart with the hosta, and as I said before, the fern also goes very well with the bleeding heart. And with this bleeding heart, friends, you think of spring, you think bleeding heart. This will bloom at least 4 to 6 weeks. Yes, it blooms very, very long. And after it's done blooming, do not cut the plant down, leave it alone. And then when it gets really hot and the summer is here, you will start to see the foliage turning yellow. So the plant is dying back to the ground, not dead, but just dying back to the ground. The foliage turns yellow and it just eventually disappears. Just do not cut it back, okay? It's just like your bulbs, where it needs the sun to go through the foliage and then send all the energy back down in the roots. So very important, do not cut back your bleeding heart and let it be. And friends, with your bleeding heart, it comes, I've seen it in 3 different colors. I was googling it and it comes in black and blue. I'm not sure how true that is, but I've seen it in white, and I have the pink. I'll show that to you in a second. And Home Depot, they have the Valentine, which is the red. I'll insert a clip for you so you can see that. So friends, I strongly recommend the bleeding heart. I'm gonna go over and show you where I have the pink, but just enjoy the blooms in here. I've never seen anything like this plant. Absolutely love it. Oh, and here's a bonus for you. It makes a great cut flower. Yes, these dainty, unique blooms are great in your cut flower vase. So if you have a bleeding heart in your garden and you enjoy cut flower, make sure you try it in your arrangement. And then moving over on this side, here is a pink one. And friends, with these bleeding hearts, I did not plant them from a bush. I got them from tulip world as a root, and I planted them. And the first year you had a little tiny foliage stem coming out from the ground, and the second year, this is what happened. So this one is the second year in the garden, and the white one probably the 3rd year. Yes, they get very wide and bushy once you take care of them. But friends, look at the heart on here. When I see this, I think of a dangling earring. Right? You know, I have to check probably Etsy and see if I could find a bleeding heart earring, but it's so beautiful. I am so in love with these blooms, friends. They're just one of a kind. And just before I started this video, I actually saw this big bumblebee trying to get up in there. I'm not sure how, but it was trying to get the nectar from the bleeding heart. See right on my hand there, some of that. Anyway, so this is your bleeding heart, and just 2 weeks ago I think I planted another white one in the shade garden between the hostas and all of that. So nothing's gonna happen with that this year. More than likely next year I would see it. But if you're looking for bleeding heart, those, they carry the white for $12.98 I think it was, and Home Depot, as you just saw in the video there, they carry the red for $60.98. So now is the perfect time for you to get them at the garden centers, plant it, make sure you water it in, and you would enjoy some blooms this season. Or if not, you could wait until, I would say, maybe the fall season. Check out Tulip World and get some roots from them and plant them, and then spring of next year you'll be enjoying your bleeding heart. Strongly recommend a bleeding heart to add to your garden. Anyway, so next perennial I recommend for your garden is the spirea. Let's get on this side and I'll share the spirea with you. I have several of these in the garden and I absolutely love the spirea. This is from Proven Winners, and the spirea loves sun or part shade. It is hardy from zones 3 to 8. It gets 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, as you can see. So if you're looking for a compact shrub for a small space or a narrow garden or wherever in your garden, I strongly recommend the spirea. And it blooms spring, summer, and fall. Yes, so in the spring it looks like tiny red blooms on there, and then it just opens up to this beautiful foliage, and you can see here very soon it will be blooming. So friends, right here, that's where the blooms are. And believe it or not, they're great for cut flowers in your vase, and they last a pretty long time in the vase. And let me take you and share the rest with you and give you more information on the double play big bang spirea. All right friends, I'm in the front, and do you see how narrow this space is? Yes, so I needed to put some shrubs in here that can highlight this narrow space. And right here is one of the double play bang spirea, and you could see the blooms are more on this plant. And I think this is the second year I've had this in the garden, and this is what the tag looks like. And friends, I got this on clearance. All of my spireas are from the clearance section at Lowe's, and it says it is dare resistant, medium level for dare resistant, and it's perfect in foundation, borders, low hedges, mass planting, and it's hardy from zones 3 to 8. So with the spirea, friends, it doesn't give you winter interest. What happens is that when the first frost is here, the plant loses all of its leaves, and then it looks like sticks, right? It's just the structure of the plant with no leaves or foliage, just sticks. So it doesn't give you winter interest, so to speak. But this is a perennial or a shrub I strongly recommend for you to put in your garden. Beautiful. And if you're interested in spirea, they come in all different types. You don't have to buy Proven Winners, but they have other brands out there. But I know with Proven Winners, I definitely know they have the double play candy corn, they have the double play doozy, they have the double play gold. So if you have any of these spireas in your garden, let me know down in the comment below. But look at this, friends. I am just in love with spireas. And then I'm waiting until I see more on clearance to add more to the garden. But let me take you over in the pollinator bed, and I'll share that with the one over there with you. All right friends, so this is the pollinator garden bed, and I tucked one in here. I think it was last year I planted this one, and once again it was on clearance, and look how well it is doing. Yes, it's beautiful. Why did I put a spirea in the pollinator garden bed? There's a reason for that. The pollinators, the hummingbirds, the bees, they love the spirea. Yes friends, I wish the flower head was out more so I can actually show that to you, but it's a nice cluster. I'll show you on the card, but but this is what the flower looks like, and the pollinators go crazy over the spirea. So if you're looking to attract pollinators to help with your veggie garden, I strongly recommend planting one of these close to your veggie garden. Okay, I'm telling you, it will bring a lot of pollinators to your veggie garden and help you with the pollination for the veggies and all of that. But let me show you where I have another one in the back in the flamingo garden bed. Alright friends, so this is the flamingo garden bed, and right over here, once again, I got this one on clearance too. Yes friends, I hardly ever pay full price for any plants, but look how beautiful this is, right? I absolutely love these spireas. If I see any more in the clearance section, and of course I'll share that video with you in case you're interested in buying any on clearance, or if you want to pay full price. I think with full price they probably maybe $26 to $30 full price. That's what I think they're going for, the Proven Winners brand. But friends, I absolutely love these spireas, and I'm sure if I see any in garden center, I'll let you know, because they should be out now, and then they go on clearance towards in fall or even in summer. I've seen them on clearance. But check out your garden centers and see if you see any spireas. You will definitely love this shrub. Love it. Alright friends, my third plant perennial shrub is the Nandina. Friends, I am obsessed with Nandinas. I absolutely love them. So these two we have here, you probably saw when I planted these in fall season, and yes, I got them on clearance too. So these ones are the Gulf Stream Heavenly Bamboo. They will get 36 to 42 inches tall and 24 to 36 inches wide, and they're non-hardy in zones 1 to 5. So if you live in those zones, unfortunately they will not survive your winter for you. But these are great shrub to have in your garden, and they make really good winter interest too. When it was winter, you should see these out here. They look as is, right? And Nandinas come in all different types, sizes, height. And then let me show you another one I have here, friends, and they're great for the narrow garden space. You just tuck them in and they're just beautiful, and they grow in an upright way, as so to speak, as you can see here. It doesn't flap over. It's just perfect for a narrow space, just to give you some interest in your garden, and especially winter interest. Yes, so this plant was like this. It's still like this from spring into winter. It doesn't change. And here, this is the new growth. Do you see the red color there? All this is the new growth coming out from it. I absolutely love Nandinas. And then here I planted two in these planters. I have a video to post about these. These ones are the green Nandinas. They're just green. They're not mixed with anything. It's just solid green, and look at that, mixed. And they're great also in planters. Just make sure you have a large planter to accommodate them. And I have the other one in a planter on this end, and these were clearance plants also. So I'll share the video with these two guys for you. And then I have, I think, two more in the flamingo garden bed, and I'll go to the front and share with you where I have one in a narrow space. We're back at the front, and here is where I put another Nandina, because it fits in such a narrow space. Look how small this space is to the front of the house. So they're perfect for that, and I just love Nandinas. So I'm gonna share with you my next recommendation. Okay, let me know if you have a Nandina in your garden, friends. So here is this beautiful shrub from Proven Winners. When I purchased this, it was on clearance, friends, and that was the only time I've ever seen this in the garden center. I think this would be the third year. I'm telling you, time is just flying to remember. But last year, it did not look anything like this. It just had some red tiny balls, and that was it. And then this year, friends, look at it. It just show its true color. It just show me what it can do. I'm absolutely loving this shrub. I've done several videos before, and I've never seen this again. That was the one time when I purchased it on clearance. But if you interested in this, I'm sure you could probably find it on Proven Winners website. But look at the blooms on here, friends. I love unique plants in the garden, right? Plants that makes me happy and bring that smile to my face. And these blooms are becoming spent, as you can see, and there's some new buds coming out there, friends, but it almost look like roses. And the double take scarlet is hardy from zones 5 through 9. It will bloom early spring into late spring. And friends, this is great as a cut flower also, and it prefers full sun. And it will get 4 to 5 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. All right, friends, so those are shrubs slash perennials you definitely should get in your garden, as now is the time to plant for the spring season, and hopefully you're able to find them at the garden centers. More than likely you should. But anyways, I just wanted to bring the perennials that I'm enjoying. I'm loving these in my garden every year, and they're here to stay. So thank you for watching, and let me know what you recommend down in the comment box below. What perennial or shrub you're enjoying in your garden and that you would recommend to others. All right, friends, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Cheers.